Hi everybody, this is Tiffany. Everyone's having a great day. I came on and give a prophetic word. So this word is coming from a dream I already had. So this is coming from the dream that I gave 2 weeks ago about my sisters wrapping themselves in the sheet. So the other day I was listening to someone in like the background and they were talking about political stuff. So I wasn't really paying attention until the highlight when he started to talk about Egypt. So when that part was highlighted, the dream that I had came back to me. So when that happened, I already gave the word for it. So I was like, why is the Lord bringing this dream back to me, right? So at first I thought that I was wrong with that word, if that makes sense, but I'm not. That word that I gave is a word for someone, but then also it's another meaning with that dream as well. So I'm on to give the second message from that dream. So I don't watch the news, so I'm not up on what's happening with the war and everything like that over there. I just know that this has been going on for a while. So if I listen to anyone, it's on YouTube. I don't watch TV at all. You know what I mean? So if you guys don't remember, the dream started with I was being dragged into this room and I was trying to fight to get away. And the person had a hammer and was bashing the TV. It hit the TV a few times and I was able to get away. And I ran into the room and 3 of my sisters were on the bed. So one of my sisters was turning. She was finishing turning herself inside the sheet because all 3 of them from head to toe was wrapped in a sheet, looked like a mummy. So one sister was turning, and then by the time I got there, she had just finished turning, and all 3 of their backs was turned to me. So I was trying to catch my breath, and then I just stopped. I was going to try to get their attention, but I knew that their backs were turned to me, like ignoring what was happening. And that was the end of the dream. So with 3 of my sisters being wrapped in the sheet that looked like mummies is the sister countries next to Egypt, right? So the 3 sister countries next to Egypt is Libya, Sudan, and Israel. Also, what was highlighted was Mediterranean and the Red Sea. So when I saw Red Sea, Moses came to me originally, but nothing else came at that time. And my sisters were also in the bed. So this is 3 countries are in bed with Egypt. So this is where it gets a little tricky for me because I'm not up on what's happening. So if whoever is up on the news, and if you're prophetic, please let me know what comes to you after hearing this message, because I need help regarding this part here. And what does it mean for the phrase in bed is they are engaged in close, often secretive or unethical business partnerships or collaborations, implying a level of collusion or shared interests that might be considered improper or potentially harmful to competition. So remember, I was running into the room to get help from my sisters, right? And they already turned their back on me. So and 2 was already turned, their back was already turned, and one sister, the younger sister, was turning her back. She was turning right when I ran into the room. So 2, because they're representing countries here, 2 countries already turned their back, and then 1 is going to turn their back. And that's where I get confused, because when it comes to me, I was the one that was being attacked. So there is an attack that's going to happen, and those 3 countries are going to turn their back. Where I get confused is it Egypt going to turn their back, or the 3 countries going to turn their back on Egypt, if that makes sense? If it comes to me, I'm going to definitely put it in the comments. But if it comes to you guys, please put it in the comments. All right, so another angle, what came to me is turning back to the ways of Egypt. So what that means is turning back to the ways of old. All right, so turning back to the ways of Egypt is a biblical phrase that signifies a metaphorical return to a life of bondage, sin, or reliance on worldly things, essentially rejecting the freedom and guidance offered by God. Much like the Israelites in the Bible, who longed to go back to their time as slaves in Egypt despite being led to the promised land, it represents a desire to revert to a past life of comfort, even if it means abandoning one's spiritual path. This is why Moses was highlighted, because what happened then is going to happen again, turning back to the ways of old. So the clock has started. The Lord is revealing to us the clock has started for everything to turn back, if that makes sense. So remember with the hammer, other message, I only read Jeremiah 23:29 because I knew the Lord was angry within that regarding the idol worship. But I was led in this message to read Jeremiah 23:29 to 39. What was highlighted was the false prophet. So the Lord is angry with everyone that's saying he is saying something and he's not. So in this scripture in the commentary, what was highlighted was the destruction of the false prophet and the destruction of their families as well. So right now, the Lord is giving whoever is saying he is saying something, he's not saying it, that he's giving them a chance to step away from saying it now. And if you don't, destruction is going to be upon you and your family. The false prophets in Revelation came to me. So I'm going to read that. In the book of Revelation, the false prophet is a beast that comes out of the earth and deceives people into worshiping an image of the beast. The false prophet is a mouthpiece for Satan. Revelations 13:11 to 17 describes false prophet. The false prophet has two horns like a lamb, but speaks like a dragon. He forces people to worship an image of the beast. He causes people to receive the mark of the beast in their forehead or right hand. He threatens people with death. He uses economic incentives. The false prophet's fate. The false prophet and the beast are thrown into the lake of fire that burns with sulfur. They are tormented day and night forever and ever. The false prophet, the mark of the beast, the economic incentive is going to all come from the TV. The deception is all going to come from the TV. So whoever is going to be on our TV screen promising us X, Y, and Z, if we get this and we worship this, is going to come from the TV. Once we get there, people are going to want it to go back to like how it is now. For that to happen, they're going to have to take the mark. But the promises, and if we give up our faith and they promise us this and we worship that, and you know what I mean? So people are going to want it to go back. So they're going to go back to bondage, if that makes sense. So the Lord is showing how it happened in Moses' time is going to happen now. That's going to be when the falling away is going to happen, because they're going to want it to go back to the way it was, which is right now. In order to do that, you're going to have to take the mark, and you take the mark, you're going to be destroyed. You will not be saved. So the Lord is just giving us the heads up. That's exactly how it's going to happen. The complaining, the murmuring. So all that is just going to play out again. Everything that's happening right now is like a smoke screen with the celebrities, the White House. This is all part of the plan, pretty much. After listening to this message, pray for start to get your affairs in order. Like, what can you do to make sure that you and your family's okay in these times? Like, how can you build your spirit? What can you do to be okay? Like, what do you need to do? What have you not done yet? Things of that nature. So make sure that you align with the Lord and you're on the right path. That's how we would stay ahead of that stuff. Just staying close to the Lord and praying for clarity and guidance regarding everything that we see, everything that we hear, everything that we do. Make sure the Lord is in it and make sure the Lord is leading us. So that's it for the message, guys. If you guys have more to this message, please put it in the comments. I love you guys. Have a wonderful and blessed day, and I'll see you soon, Lord willing, and be blessed. Bye.